Well, good morning. Today is Thursday, December 28th. I'm trying to get the glare out of my glasses. That's the bad thing. But see, this doesn't look like me. This is not who you know. My kids told me they were glad I had the surgery or I kept my glasses because they don't know me any other way. I've worn glasses since I was 9 years old. Once again, didn't get on the scale. I refuse to get on the scale and let that deter my good frame of mind, because I have a very good frame of mind. I know who I am. If I get on the scale and see the amount of pounds that I gained, and I did gain pounds, I would think, what the heck? My old Christmas me from last year would have ate crazy like I did, and then just said, you know, let's just wait till Saturday, you get weighed. What's the point? You still got all the goodies in the house, because you can't see that on the counter. I still have 3 tins of cookies, homemade cookies, and I have some candied nuts that I got a package of candied nuts, and the leftover cake I cut up and put in the freezer, so it's in the freezer. But we both know me. Shh, let's tell you a secret. I like frozen cake. It doesn't matter to me. I don't even wait till it gets thawed. I just eat it. But no, I have more power over myself than I give myself credit for. So I have to know that I have the power to say that I'm not going to eat that cake. I don't need that cake. I had a slice of cake on Saturday. I had a slice of cake on Sunday. I had a slice of cake on Monday. I had a slice of pie on Sunday. I had a slice of pie on Sunday. So I mean. And is anybody else like me that just because you didn't sit down and eat 6 cookies, which if you say it, a half a dozen, makes it sound even better, doesn't it? If you think that nobody's going to sit down and eat a half, well, if they're right out of the oven. No, stop that. But anyway, nobody's going to just sit down and eat a half a dozen cookies. But if you're walking by the cookie tray and you pick up a cookie and you eat it, and then an hour later you walk by the cookie tray and you pick up and you eat it, and you do that over a 6-hour period, you've eaten a half a dozen cookies, which I did. I ate a half a dozen cookies. I probably ate a dozen cookies over the whole weekend. I don't have a doubt of that. I lost track. I just lost track. But, you know, even though I went out to dinner on Tuesday night, I still made good choices before I went. And when I went out, I had made smart choices too. And I made excellent choices yesterday. And I'm going to make excellent choices today. That's just who I am. I'm just going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to let food have power over me. I know that people always say that it's an emotional tool. And it really kind of is in a way. But I don't really have any emotional issues. I've had a good life. I've had a really good life. And sure, there were times that I had stress and sadness and sorrow, and I turned to food. But for the most part, you know, when psychiatrists say, well, there's a deep-rooted cause why you're so overweight, why you're so fat. There's a deep-rooted, deep down, we need to dig deep. No, I had a great childhood. I never knew we were poor. I never felt like I was poor. I always had food on the table. I've always had a place to live. I've always been blessed with so many friends now. But I just don't know. It just seems like a good friend. Food just seems like a good friend. And sometimes good friends do lead you astray. I'm talking to you, Sydney. We had some adventures. But, you know, you have to know that, well, that wasn't a good choice, and then move on. Just because you made one bad choice doesn't mean you're going to spend the rest of your life paying for that one bad choice, unless you're overweight. And then you pay for it if you don't lose the weight, because your health will come into play. But I love the quote that I heard from Jane Mahalik. I think that's what she says her last name, Mahalik. And she said, goes on like butter, comes off like cement. And that is so true. It just slides right down your throat. But then once it gets in your stomach, it starts fighting because it knows it's not supposed to be there. And then you get an upset stomach. And then you have the other effects if you've eaten too much sugar. And you just pay for it. You really do. It was so all fun and games. You know, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. But anyway, Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. That wasn't a movie. That was a TV show. Can you guess? Let me think. Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. Everybody's seen this show. I don't care how old you are. But And then I also liked hearing from a couple of you on the different ways that you guys say I love you. So it makes me know that Jim and I aren't the only oddballs out there. Valerie Reese, her and her husband Steve, they say elephant shoes. Now I'm sure there's a meaning to it, and that's what I like about these little terms of endearment. They mean nothing to anybody else, but to you yourself, it's your own little secret code. And I think everybody in life needs a secret code. Even when you're out with, like. Even couples, when you go out, the other couple can give a signal and you just know it's time to go. You don't even have to say it's time to go. You just give that look and you know it's time to go. Witchy woman, she says, like the wind. And her husband says, like the tides. I love that too. It's just so, there's just so much love in the world. And I think a lot of times we're just not really aware of how much love there really is out there. We just have to open our eyes and see it. It's everywhere. I'm not saying that there's not hate out there, because there is, and that unfortunately those are the things that you see right off. Those are the things that are reported on the news. And they always say they ought to have a happy news channel. Well, if they had a happy news channel, people wouldn't watch it, because we're all human and we like seeing disasters. As sad as that sounds, but that's true. But who hasn't looked at that overweight person and then looked again? I've had those looks myself. I don't really care. You want to look at me? I've said this more than once. Look at me. You want to look twice? Look twice. You want me to stand and you can take a picture so you can talk about me to your friends afterwards? I really don't care. I know who I am. People like me. They really, really like me. Sally Fields. I know. It's so sad how I live my life around movie quotes, TV quotes, but it just makes something for me to talk about, I guess. Not that I don't have anything to talk about. I can always talk about stuff. But Deborah Braun, I don't know if I said your name right. You are oh so correct. That was the Virginian in the background. Jim's been working days. Well, actually, he was off last week because of his surgery. And then he's usually gone to work by the time I eat my breakfast, so there's usually not any background music. Jim doesn't want to admit it, that he can't hear. Huh? What? Pardon me? Excuse me? I'm sorry, what? I hear that a lot. But, I love him, and he doesn't want to admit he has a problem, and so I see no problem in that. I wear glasses because I can't see. If I couldn't hear, I definitely would have a hearing aid. And you could put them on well, he doesn't wear glasses now because he has cataract surgery. But, there's a ways around it, but I love him dearly. So the TV, when I watch the TV, we have it set at 20. And when Jim watches the TV, we have it set at 46. So when I'm doing my breakfast vlog, the TV's on 46, and that's why you can hear it so well. And I probably should tell you what he's watching, because there's so much music in the background. Jim is a big old movie buff, so he watches a lot of old movies. and I don't like old movies that much. Although we did watch The Bells of St. Mary the other day, and A Wonderful Life. We like some of the old movies together, but no, he's Errol Flynn. He loves Errol Flynn. No, whatever. But I have to go wake Alyssa up, because look what time it is. And she's still in bed. She's still sleeping, because she got a Mac computer, laptop or whatever for Christmas. And even though she's not supposed to have it at night, I have a feeling she's listening to it at night and staying up all night. But I got to go wake her up, because we have to go to Kroger's. And I haven't decided yet, get a haircut. It's like right at the perfect length right now for me, but it's getting there, so I don't know. And then come home and stay on plan. That's my plan. So stay with me. Let's go. Let's see what trouble I can get into, because we both know, all of us know, I can get in a lot of trouble. Here's my bread, and then look at where they're located. I didn't. I have melty stuff in here, so let me show you. Oh, got my bread. Okay. And I meant to tell you, always drinking my water, even when I'm out. You got to bring it with you. If you just drink it as you're going along, you don't realize that you're drinking it, and then before you know it, you've drank your quota for the day. Well, I'm really proud of myself, guys. Isn't that the worst place to put the diet bread? I mean, I know it's not diet bread, but it's low fat. Not low fat, but low point bread. And they put it right by the donuts. And the chocolate donut was calling me. I heard him. I heard him calling me. He said, Sandy, you can have me. I'm not that many points. Figure it in and they have me. And I said, no. I had enough of your other friends over the weekend, your cakes and your pies and your cookies. I don't need to be sharing you too. So, I'm going to turn you off for a minute because this is a hard turn. Okay, I'm back. I don't know who designed that particular. We have a light up this way and a light back that way, and they're not timed the same way. So if it's clear, because I got to turn left to get out of the shopping mall. If it's clear this way, it's not clear the other way. And then if it's clear that way, it's not clear. So it's like, it's almost dangerous. There's a lot of accidents there. But I always figure, you don't like it, go around. There's more than one way to get out of there. There's like 3 or 4 different ways to get out of there. They're all bad. There's not one of them that's good. But if you think I'm taking too long, oh well, I'm never going to see you. I don't care. But anyway, I was so proud of myself because that donut was calling me. And I thought, no, you don't need a donut. You want a donut, you don't need a donut. Okay, hang on, because we're in the bumpy part of the ride. Don't be, I'm sure you got your seatbelt on because you know you're in the car with me. But I got all my vegetables and fruit, and I got some stuff because Jim's going to make some chili, but he makes it out of venison, so I don't eat that. But I have my Weight Watchers chili in the freezer. I took something out. I don't know if it's the chili or the pasta visual. It'll be a prize, as my nephew Steve used to say when he was little. It's an up prize instead of surprise. So that's what I'm gonna have, and then I'm gonna have a tuna sandwich and then some vegetables, and I bought some of my artichoke dip that I like. So that's my plan for dinner. Usual breakfast. You guys know what that is. And just stick with it. Drink a lot of water. Flush it out. And I dropped Alyssa off with her mom because she was going to buy her communion dress because she's making her communion in February, which is odd. Usually they do it around May, but for some reason the church she goes to does it in February. So she's going to do it in February. So she was going to get her communion dress. And then what else have I got to do? How come you guys are all wiggling around? How come you're not staying put? You're not being good. Could it be my driving? No. Pshaw. It's not my driving. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much because I talk a lot. I know I talk a lot, and I try to make it weight related, but I'd like you to know me. Because to know me is to love me. That's what I tell my family. They say we have no choice. Your family. You guys have a choice. And I'm glad that you chose wisely, in my opinion. Other than that, I'm going to go home and... Oh, that's what I meant to buy. There's a new phone book. Because I've been putting you guys' names in the phone book as I've been going along, and they're not in any kind of alphabetical order. And so there's a lot of times I got you in there more than once because you've been more than generous to me. So I got to fix that. But I'm not going back just for that. I'll get that the next time. And, oh, pet peeve. I know I'm old. I know I look old. And these baggers are like 17, 18 years old. And I tell them, pack them heavy. I'm stronger than I look. And I think I ended up with probably 17 bags, and I got them all into 5. Because like they put two cans of something into a bag, and then 2 cans of something in another. I don't need it, so I packed it all up. So I have 5 bags to carry, and guess what? I'll carry them all in one trip. Because I used to live in an upper flat, and I hated going up and down the flat stairs to get up there. So I was like a pack mule, and I packed myself. I loaded myself down. Of course, I was younger. But I carried all that stuff up. And Jimmy lived in the upper flat, and he was little. I'd always give him the bag of bread to carry up so that he'd feel like he was being helpful too. And I've taught my kids, you know, you don't have money handed to you. None of my kids ever just got an allowance. You had to earn that allowance. If you didn't work for it, you didn't get it. And it's just part of living with a family. You have your responsibilities, and so has got to do the lawn, and such has got to do the laundry, and such has got to do the dishes. It's a community effort, and you have to do it. So they all do it, and they still do it now. Oh well, babbling on. Talk to you later. Well, guess what? I blabbered on so much that I have to do 2 parts because my thing that I use I can only do a 15-minute video, which is probably good because it keeps me in line. But not really, because I'm going to do 2 parts. So stay tuned.